a lot of you know out there that I have a book called Spark, and it's a worship leadership book. Now, the thing is, a lot of times, that maybe a lead pastor will be like, oh, well, that book's not for me. But I tend to think that the lead pastor is actually the lead worshiper, even if he's not the head worship leader. You know what I mean? He's doing something with my Spark book that has to do with the 7 Hebrew words for praise. And he was telling me all about it. And I'm like, man, we've got to tell some people about this. Because I feel like there's so many lead pastors out there that they need to cultivate this culture of true whole self worship, heart, soul, mind, and body worship in your church. And so how did you decide that teaching your church the 7 Hebrew words for praise was something that was even important to you?
We really felt like that God was bringing us and wanting us to go to another level of worship.
Yeah.
And because when we facilitate the presence of God, then God shows up. Yes. He changes people's lives. Yeah. And all kinds of things happen, from miracles to breakthroughs. And we just really felt like this was going to be a key for breakthrough.
Yeah.
So a key for breakthrough. Biblical worship could help usher that in. Yeah. So that was really what we felt God was saying to us.
So you're starting to lead your church through these words.
Absolutely.
You got the Shabbat, you got the Barak, which means to bow down before the Lord. I mean, I don't know. There's not too many churches that are actually the whole church is going to bow down on their knees on a Sunday morning. So tell me about some of what you've been teaching and how's it been going?
So what we've been doing and some of the words we started out with involved lifting your hands in faith.
Yes.
And then, the instruments praising and worshiping God.
Yes.
So we started on this journey, and we're doing a mini teaching on this during our worship moments, and then we're practicing it immediately after teaching.
So you refuse to be just hearers of the word.
Right.
You're going to help your congregation become doers of the word.
Exactly.
So, a lot of people are a little weirded out. They're like, well, don't tell me how to worship God. I just worship God in my heart. You know what I say to them, Pastor? I'm like, guys, it's okay if you worship God in your heart. But the Bible says to love the Lord your God with all your heart. I tell them they got a fourth of it down.
Come on.
A fourth: heart, soul, mind, instinct. We don't check our brains at the door, nor should we check our bodies at the door.
That's good.
Whole self-worship.
That's it.
You're seeing results. You're seeing some people. So tell me a little bit about what you've been seeing.
Yeah, we really are. So we're seeing people take steps out of their comfort zones, because one of the things we're talking about with this is we're saying that true worship, biblical worship, goes beyond our personalities.
Yeah,
it goes beyond our preferences. And it goes beyond our past experiences. So we really want to lean into what the Bible's saying about that. And as we're doing this, we're seeing people break through out of all those things, and it's really having an impact on the church and in people's individual lives. We're already seeing it.
Yes. And this is my heart behind the book. That they kind of look at their congregation and go, oh, I wish they were more passionate. I wish they would worship with more intensity. I wish they would put down the coffee. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, lead pastor, don't ignore the fact that you have the ability to shift that culture to a kingdom culture. That's what Pastor Cullen is doing. He's taking just one of many biblical principles, but applying it and teaching it to the congregation so that they can do it, and it's shifting the culture.
I encourage you to grab that book called Spark, and it's not just for worship leaders. I believe it starts with the senior pastor, with the lead pastor, and seeing what the biblical principles are, imparting them to our church, and then also using that in the worship ministry as well. So I think it's for all. It really is.